Hey guys, I hope you're well. We're back and we're back for ZRL Season 4. I'm sorry it's been a little bit quiet on the channel recently, but I've been racing out on the roads in real life. I still have been racing the classics, or at least I raced some of the classics, which I thought were fantastic this time around. I think WTRL in this AutoCat system is amazing. The races were tough, competitive, it seemed fair. They were much more challenging than some of the other B category races I've raced in historically, so hats off to those guys. But now it's time to focus on this team event with ZRL Season 4. So let's get straight in to looking at the new rules, the point systems, and the all-important stages for this season. But before we go any further, there are a couple of things. I've put a timestamp down below as well, so if there's some things that you want to skip through, I'm going to run through the rules. If you just want to get straight into the stages, then use the timestamp below and you can find the section of the video that you're after. Just another note as well, I am releasing another video early next week which runs through how basically to get involved in ZRL. If you're completely new, never raced it before, where do I start? Where do I need to register? How do I find a team? So check back, hit that subscribe, hit that notification button, it really helps the channel out as well, and keep your eyes open for that video. Okay, so before we get into the stages and the rule changes, I want to give you a little bit of insight of how it's going to change this season in terms of our weekly recons. We are still doing a weekly recon, but this time it's going to be live and we're going to have guests on the show at the same time. So we've got some pro riders, community riders, we've also got some experts from the world of Zwift who are going to give us some insights in terms of how to tackle the stage, maximize points, bike choices, that kind of thing, and how to utilize those power-ups. So it's not just going to be me, we're going to have a guest on every single week. Those hopefully are going to go out or going to go live on a Friday evening. So again, just hit that notification button and you guys will get informed. Live shows, that will be interesting. So let's get in and look at the rule changes for Season 4 first of all. Alright, so there's three things really I've picked up on these rule changes. First of all, the fastest through segments, the way that points are awarded has been changed. So instead of each lap you're getting the fastest through for the top 10, it's going to be for the whole event and that whole race as well. I honestly thought it was like that before, but apparently not. It was each lap if we were going through multiple times. But this time it's the 10 fastest time through a specific segment for the whole race and whole event. So bear that in mind when you're planning those tactics for your team. The other thing which I find very disappointing is the withdrawal, and we're no longer allowing, or WTRL and Zwift are no longer allowing under 16s to race ZRL. I understand why they've done it from a safeguarding point of view, but at the same time I think it's mightily disappointed. I'm a father myself, I've got 5 kids, computer games are a big thing. I think it's a fantastic platform. It still is a fantastic platform to assist our younger generation and move them from the traditional world of gaming to more exercise-based gaming. So disappointing. I hope the guys at WTRL and Zwift can find an alternative to get these guys, these younger generation, racing and active. So that's a bit of a disappointment, but I can understand why they've done it. And I guess the third thing is there's a lot more clarity this time in the rules around the playoffs and the format and who's going to be involved in those playoffs as well. But again, I've left a link in the description below, so if you do want some more detailed information, have a look at the link in the description and read those rules. I guess another great thing to highlight this time as well is the addition of 3 time zones. Even more global, even more flexible, 3 new leagues to think about there as well. So I think that's a really positive step forward, plenty of choice for any rider globally, which is fantastic. Personally, myself, I'm going to be trying to race 2 of those time zones. I'm going to hopefully do a morning on the APAC region and then an evening with the EMEA West with the regular Provision team. So really looking forward to that. Whether that'll happen in reality on a course like Yorkshire, I don't know. Depends how tough that morning APAC riders make. But that's the plan. So I look forward to seeing you guys in those events. Alright, so let's get into the stages, and if I look at the schedule in a bit more detail, I think it's a really good balance. 2 time trials, 6 points races, and the points races, I think there's a really good mix of sort of climbers, sprinters, and more puncher based courses there as well. I guess the only criticism I've got is the time trial, once again, back to London. I just would like a little bit more variety. I do understand it's a good course, You know, there's good opportunities to work on your skill, as well as a few more testing gradual gradients, but I just would like to see a bit more variety on some of those team time trial courses. But let's get into Watopia Waistband, where it all starts with the team time trial. Alright, so I said stage 1, Watopia Waistband. Perfect for a team time trial. No major obstacles in this course. I think it's about 30k as well. So it really is an opportunity to test those team time trial skills within Zwift. Now, on week 1 of the Recon, I'm going to have Paul Fitzpatrick, which we all know is the Zwift DS. He's going to give us some quick tips and insights on how you guys can maximize the opportunity and reduce your times and get yourselves high up on that league board early doors for these 8 stages. Alright, so for stage 2, we're staying in Watopia, and it's the figure of 8 reverse this time. So there's 2 sprints, 2 climbs, well, same climb, same sprint, but in reverse, you know what I mean. Again, another short one, 30 kilometers, which I think's fine. That's good for the new teams and the new Zwifters as well. It's important to note that these first 2 stages, although you'll be placed in a division or a league, these first 2 stages are officially qualifying. It basically just means that it gives the opportunity for sort of better or stronger teams just to be moved around, but all those points that you get in those first 2 stages will count. So essentially, any team that's been in ZRL before, they're just standard stages. It just gives an opportunity for WTRL to be a little bit flexible and move the teams around just to make sure we've got a competitive, fair divisions across the board. Alright, so for stage 3, we go over to Mercury Islands, and this is the first time Mercury Islands has been featured in ZRL. It's on the Flatlands loop, which I think really is the sort of the only choice of course at this point for the sort of early doors of ZRL. I know we've got a different course coming on right at the end of the season, that's a different challenge, but I think just for the purists, the roadies out there, this is the sensible choice. Fairly flat, only 99 meters of elevation. I know we've got split distances for A, B and CD riders this time, but I do think it's a course for the sprinters. So again, plenty of points for the sprinters to be had here. But again, remember, each week we're going to be doing these recon rides where we'll go through the stage, the points, opportunities, bike choice, etc. in a bit more detail. But good course, nice to visit New Island. I personally have never raced in Mercury Island. I've done all the routes, but as of yet I've not raced it. So personally, I'm looking forward to this route. Alright, stage 4, we head to France, and it's one of my favourite courses in a kind of strange way, Casse. It's a long one. I really like the petit com on this one, the petit climb, really great climb. It comes right at the end of the race as well. It's what is it, 2.7 kilometers, 4.5% average gradient. This is where, if you've managed to hang on through the sprint sections and the aqueduct com, this is where people like me, a little bit puncher, a bit more of a climber, the sprinter, can really sort of turn the screw on any of those sprinters that have hung on for the previous sort of 40 kilometers. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Mark my words, Dirt, B1 and Mayor West. I've marked my card. That's the one. This is the one I'm going for. Why have I said that? Alright, so we're back to Watopia again for stage 4, and it's the 2 bridges loop this time. It's one of those courses where it's multiple lap. I think we've got 6 laps for A and B, 3 laps for C and D riders. It's a puncher's course. It's an opportunity up that reverse com, I think it is, just to keep hitting. Just keep hitting those sprinters, trying to wear them down, trying to drop them, and then hold on yourself to make sure you pick up the points at the finish line or on those sprints as well. So it's a little bit like the Innsbrucking course where you've got the leg snapper on a repeated basis. 2 bridges look, good course, 2 split distances, good opportunity for the puncher there. Again, we'll go in a bit more detail when we get to that recon on stage 5. Stage 6, and we're over to Yorkshire, and rightly so, great course. This time it's the Tour of Tewit Well for this one. Again, 2 distances, a climber's course. Yes, the climbs aren't massive, but it really does test the repeated nature of those climbs. This is going to be split all over the road. It always is when we go to Yorkshire. Small groups all over the road. Opportunities for many types of riders to pick up the points. The sprinters could just sit in a back group and go for the first to cross the line in those sprints. The climbers can be challenging on the climbs and for overall. So great course. Looking forward to this. Bring on Yorkshire. Alright, so we're into the final 2 stages and this is the final team time trial. And yes, we are back to London. Hopefully this time your teams are battling for those top spots and we're still in contention and you're going to be having some great battles with the other teams in your division. So again, it's the Greatest London Flat, nice challenge, good distance, flat with some undulating sections. Again, there's a combination there of team strength but also the tactical savviness of how do you best ride a team time trial. And again, we've got the experts come in to discuss that in a lot more detail as we go week by week through the recons. So unless you do make the playoffs, we are almost there. This is stage 8, the final, and we're back to Mercury Islands and a really interesting stage, a really interesting course. This is the countryside loop. Going to be some real tactical choices to make here, mainly around bike choice, because obviously there's a hell of a lot of gravel on this stage. Again, you've got the Temple KOM as well. There's a couple of sprint sections in there as well. To change bikes, to not change bikes, I'm not sure, but we're going to have Eric on the show for this one from Zwift Insider, and hopefully he's going to help us just to make these choices. What are we going to do? What's the best tactic for us as an individual rider? Because again, the choice for a sprinter might be different from the choice of a climber. So again, we'll look at that. Interesting choice. Gravel bikes, off-road. You know, some people will see that ZRL should be a purist road thing. It's a game. I'm not of that mentality. I love the fact that we're throwing in these gravel sections as well. And we saw, as we saw last season, that opening stage with that gravel section up to the Italian villas. With the right power up, it could really make or break your race. And I think this time bike choice is going to do the same thing. So that's it. Those are the 8 stages. Really looking forward to this season. So that's it, that's all 8 stages in a bit more detail. But don't forget, we're going to be doing these weekly rides, these weekly recons, so keep your eye open for them. It's going to be a fantastic season. We're going to have some fantastic guests on there from the community. We're going to have Adam Dawson on from Zwiftaholics, we're going to have Recon from Zwift Insider to help us maximise points, maximise enjoyment in the Zwift world for ZRL Season 4. Another new thing that we're going to be doing this time as well, we're going to do some live ride-alongs, some live recon rides with some of the existing race organizers out there in the community as well. So keep an eye on the Facebook pages, my Instagram page and this YouTube channel for details on those live ride-along events. Come and join us. So that's it. As always, guys, much appreciate you watching this video. Please like, please subscribe, please share the channel with any new Zwifters and ZRL racers that you may know and your friends. And don't forget, guys, I've left links as well to the channel supporters. As always, I always appreciate the support from Racing Without Borders, the guys at Electric Spirit, and my own team, Provision, as well. You guys have been really useful in setting up this channel in the past and hopefully through to this new season as well. So we'll catch you guys soon.